Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up and Makeup. I am Heather, and we come to you live every day, Monday through Friday. We are here for you guys to talk about Luminesce, to talk about color cosmetics, to talk about airbrush, of course, but skincare, how to use a product, what a product's for, it doesn't matter. Whatever questions you may have, we talk about them. Hello, Candy. Good to see you. And so we do like to go over, excuse me, we like to go over, did I leave my coffee over there? I think I did. We like to go over the start, the beginning, the getting it out of the box to how to do a full makeup. So usually in these I do start to finish. And so it can be different levels of start to finish. But really it's all about you. So if there's questions you may have, you can answer or ask in here and I can see your questions. And so I see Facebook and YouTube. So if you see me talking to somebody and you're like, where is that? Probably on the other channel. So we do go over the basics. So we're going to cover the starter kit, what you get, how to use it first, and then we'll dive into it. So today we are going to talk about eyebrows. So I'm going to take my eyebrows off and we're going to start and do them. And I'm going to go step by step on how you can do that. Hello, Arusa. How are you? Oh, yay. A little cold in Canada, I'm guessing. Where in Canada are you from? Good morning, Patty. Good to see you. Good to see you. Have you airbrushed before, or are you interested in airbrush, Arusa? All right, so let's go ahead real quick while we're waiting for her to answer. I want to hear if she's new. I'm going to show you the starter kit, which is right here. This is one of our starter kits, and this is the Icon. We also have the Icon Pro and the Legend. And it comes with makeup. So it comes with everything you need to get started. So it comes with the 2 bottles of foundation, the blush and Love. Now we give you the 2 large bottles of foundation for a couple reasons. Number one, they're going to be similar in color. You're picking 2 different shades. They're going to be similar in color. So you can color match 365 days a year. And then we also give you the big bottles because we want you to practice. This is a new way of doing makeup. And so there's a little bit of a learning curve. And so we're very upfront about that. So you'll get it in no time. Blush, you're only using like 2 drops at a time because it is super high pigmented. And then Love is just, again, a couple of drops and you might not be using it every time. Different ways to use our products. Just because something says blush doesn't mean you have to use it for cheeks only. And so that's what I love about airbrush makeup is I kind of just look at colors and think, okay, where do I want this? Oh, I want this as a contour. I want this as eyeshadow. You can change it up. So when you first get your kit, we want you to do the following things. And this is going to set you up for success in learning how to airbrush. And the fun thing about it is you're practicing with air and water, and that's it. So there's nothing threatening, nothing crazy about that. When you plug it in and turn it on, there's air that comes out. And so wherever you feel the air is where that makeup is going. And so, let me move that hair back. So you can tell, like, it's not even a big, like, blow of air. It's not a big old breeze. It's just very, very light, and you're just going to move this around and feel it around your face. Then you can put water in here and start spraying your face. You're going to pull back, and this is what you're practicing when you put water in here is barely pulling back. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. This is a new way of doing makeup. Don't expect it to go on like traditional makeup. Don't expect it to look like traditional makeup. If you are applying it like traditional makeup, it's not going to do what we say it's going to do. So you have to take a step back, go through those steps again and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? It should dry instantly when you put it on. Now, at first, if it's not, it's okay. You're going to get to that point. You should be using about 5, 7, 8 drops for a full face. If you're using 20 drops right now, that's okay. Because the other thing is, the more you have this in your hand, the more you're going to learn. Each and every time you have it in your hand, even if you're messing up, you're learning from it. The last thing I would recommend is to put a couple of drops of your foundation, or maybe the foundation that's not the match yet, and spray a tissue, a paper towel, a piece of paper, and do those steps. Hold it 4 finger widths away, barely pull back on that trigger, and keep the stylus moving, because on the piece of paper in that big contrast of color, you're going to see what you need to work on, or if you're doing it correctly. So that's always a good, fun thing to do. Or the other thing I like is if you have someone you can airbrush, your husband, your daughter, whoever, you can airbrush them, and you're actually seeing it being done. So it's a little bit different. I always tell people, like, it's like magic. You should question whether or not it's even going on, and then all of a sudden you look flawless. That's about how it should be. All right, so let's go ahead. I've missed a whole bunch of messages. Oh, she's in Toronto. Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, stay tuned. I'm going to airbrush, so we're going to see that. So definitely hang out. Kaden has the Pro. The Pro has 2 speeds. The Pro makes you a pro. So it has the double speeds, and the full speed, you can do body, like tanning, hair, all of that. Let's see. Everyone's like, you're gonna love it. Hello, Linda. So good to see you. Hello, Patty. Patty has the starter kit. Okay, we're gonna go over that. Okay, so Kaden says, I tried it yesterday, but I had a bunch of deep spots. I think I held it in the stylus in a position too long. So Kaden, I mean, I'm like blown away. Number one, you've already figured it out. So first time you're like, you had a bunch of spots, you've already figured it out. So it's only, guys, I'm telling you, it is so easy. So even if you are messing up, you can process it and understand it is not as difficult as we think it is in our heads when we actually start doing it. And so Kaden, yes. One thing I was thinking about the other day is, because I was walking through airbrushing with somebody, when I do my under eyes, I start the movement first and then pull back on my trigger. And that's to help not get those, we call them hot spots, where you get a of makeup. So if you are even, like, if there's certain things you need to cover and you're like, still do this, you can do smaller circles, but just keep moving that stylus. Remember that passes, which is moving your stylus, is how you get your coverage. So just keep moving it. Go in, make one full pass, look in the mirror. Okay, where else do I need coverage? Oh, here, look in the mirror, and go from there. So that's great, Kaden. Let's see. Thank you. Oh, Karen's like, I love Luminous. Well, we love you. We're so glad you're here. Yes, Kate, I love it. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning. All right, so we're up to speed on all the messages. I'm so excited. So I'm going to take off my eyebrows. I have to drop my daughter off at school in the mornings, and you just have your mask on, and so I have to put my eyebrows on when I leave because I don't want them to think I'm crazy. My eyebrows are one thing that I like. I think that and mascara I won't walk out of the house with. And it doesn't have to be like full-fledged mascara, but like just to kind of tint them and bring my eyes to life. And then my lids are always dark. I do have a little bit of concealer on. Let me go take that off too, so I can show you, and we can look at the coverage. I just don't want to scare people when walking in. All right. Now, my face is prepped. I do have moisturizer on. If I wanted to at this point, I could, let's go ahead and add a little bit of porcelain. And porcelain is a, oops, sorry, I moved my camera so it's not down there. Porcelain is clear. It's a little heavier. So you might find that you have to pull back on the trigger a little bit more, but this is colorless. So I literally can just go and just get it on. The other great thing about porcelain is, so it's a moisturizer primer. It's going to plump up wrinkles, crinkles, that kind of thing. So if you're like, oh, Heather, my face is dry, I need moisture, you can add this. Cindy, great question. Great question. So we're going to get to that one too. Cindy on Facebook is asking a great question. But the one thing about porcelain, especially if you're first starting out, if your makeup feels heavy, you can add porcelain afterwards, and it kind of helps settle everything. Because if you're like, if you put it on and you're like, it looks okay, but it does feel a little heavy, because airbrush should not feel heavy at all, then do a little bit of porcelain and that can help. Karen on Facebook asks, when I'm done putting everything together, it's tacky all day. Why? Number one, you're spraying too much, and you might be a little bit too close as well. So you are spraying too heavy. I would venture to say that 9 times out of 10, people are spraying too heavy. That's how confident I am about this. Because, and as you can tell, like, it's normal. That's normal. Because you're doing it like traditional makeup. Okay? You're still doing it like traditional makeup. It should not feel tacky. There should not be any dry time. When I get to the airbrushing, I'm going to show you the difference. I'll do one side versus another, but I'm going to do my eyebrows first. But first, I am going to go in and cover a little bit of my, those things, my lids. I'm going to cover my lids. So where's my CC? Where'd my CC go? I know it's here. I know it's here. I use it all the time. Okay, there it is. I'm going to use the CC concealer. I'm going to put a couple of drops right in the bowl. Did about 2. And I'm just going, I use light beige, and CC is a concealer. So it's an airbrush concealer. We have, different, if we're talking coverage, we do have different products that can do, that kind of overlap in use. So it's a matter of finding what's going to work best for you and what you prefer. All right. And how do you, Denise wants to know on YouTube how to cover an age spot, and I'm going to talk to you about that. All right. So now let's get going with my eyebrows. So a couple things I want to talk about with eyebrows is placement. And so I thought I had another blow brush. Okay. These are the guidelines about eyebrows. Guidelines. I didn't say laws. I said guidelines. So everybody, just like makeup, everybody likes different looks. Everybody, you know what they say about opinions, everybody has them. So everybody will have a difference of opinion on, should they be thick? Should they be thin? How do I arch? All of that. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you the guidelines on eyebrows. Number one is, don't freak out if they don't look 100% alike. Nobody's are 100% alike, and they're sisters, not twins. Okay. So it's okay if they are not alike. So eyebrows should start, if you hold a pen, a brush, right here, side of the nose, that's where the eyebrow should start. Okay. So mine, and I know this is a little thick. I wanted to do something thinner, but I don't have it. It's almost there, but like right where this starts, right where that starts. So like I probably need to come up a little bit, right? Same here. So I don't want to bring it in closer. The arch, still holding the pen or brush, side of the nose, you're going to and cross the color of the eye looking straight ahead. That's where your arch should be. And the end, staying to the side of the nose, to the corner of the eye, should be right there. Now, when you're first measuring that, you can mark it like boop, boop, boop. You can mark it to give you some guidelines. You know, eyebrows, it changes all the time on if it's supposed to be thin, thicker, whatever. Now thicker is in. And it took me a while to get used to it. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not one that wants to do like super thick. Super thick. Where's my little brush? Oh, it's this one. So I'm going to brush. The other thing, we do have the root and brow, which you can use stencils and hold those up and airbrush. And we'll do that one time as well. I'll do that another time, which makes it super easy. And everybody gets floored by them because it looks so amazing. But taking those stencils, you could actually hold it up and do the same thing, and work with them that way. So now I'm going to take the Duo eyebrow pencil. This one is in Cocoa. And I'm going to start creating my lines. The lines that I use are boop, 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 like very soft, like short, sweet, hair-like strokes, basically. And so taking the Cocoa, and I'm also going to start at the top, filling it in at the top. If you start at the bottom, the tendency is it'll bring your eye down, and we don't want that. So I always start at the top. It's an angled pen or pencil. And I can go in and start lining. Okay. Now I'm going to work on the bottom. So because I like them thicker, I'm now going to the bottom of where that grows. Can y'all see that? And making them thicker, I can go that way. Okay, so I just did the line. You can see that there's a gap right there, but I'm not concerned about that right now. Okay, so I'm just shaping them. And I can go in and fill that. Like that. Okay, now with this part here, I like mine squared off. Some people like them rounded. So do you. Hair-like strokes. To fill that in. And then I'm just now going through to fill that in. Is that not easy enough, guys? Right? What do you guys think? No fill in? Filled in. Now on the back of this, we have some brow gel. I like very little. So I actually take it and I'll kind of blot it off a little bit, just a little. And then I can go in and I feel like it gives me more hair-like strokes or hair. It looks more hair-like. And the other thing is that's going to hold the hair in place. So if you're like, Heather, I have hair, my eyebrows get all crazy. Well, the brow gel is going to help hold that in place for you. All right. So now I'm going to do the other one. Starting at the top. Just brush-like strokes. The top. Caden's liking it. Candy's liking it. Like that. And now I'm going to go in and fill it in. Ah, very good question. Linda on Facebook is asking, she has no brows and she has white and silver hair. What color should she use? And that is a super duper question. So couple of school of thought with that is you can do what your hair color used to be, because that's going to be natural to you. I'm a believer in only going 2 shades darker than what you are. So Linda, I would do either probably the taupe. I would probably do taupe and maybe some slate and buff them in together, meaning you can go in, because sometimes I'll even get my eyebrows too dark, but I'll go in with a Q-tip and smudge them so they're a little bit softer. So I would do taupe with a little bit of slate to deepen it a little bit, and then go in and smudge them. Oh, Denise said, have I ever microbladed? Girl, I want to so bad. I love the look of microblading. Like every time I do my brows, that's what I'm working on, is that look. But I'm a single mama and I can't get it done. Yeah, it's microblading is amazing, and but it's cha-ching. And I love it. I love the look. I would love to have it done, but yeah, that would be hard. If y'all don't know what microblading is, it's actually it's similar to tattooing the eyebrows on, but it's a lot softer, a lot Candy, it's usually, microblading can be up to, it's about $500 for microblading. But okay, missed that trash can. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it. But it's also, I was joking with a friend the other day. I'm like, microblading is like sushi. You have to get a referral. You don't want to just walk into a random sushi place, and you don't want to walk into a random microblading person. you want to see their work. No, it has to be like a referral. Because that is permanent. All right, so I now have eyebrows done, and now I can start the foundation and my look. So we'll talk about the coverage and what to do for coverage. So I'm going to go back to my light beige, put a couple of drops. And I'm going to get this underneath my eyes again to get me a little more coverage. And you can already tell it's lightening my under eyes. Now, just now I did spray a little bit in my eyes, but it's okay. It's okay. It's it's ophthalmologist tested. So it's like spraying or when you get oh my gosh, that's so funny. I have two systems sitting here and I was turning the one off that was unplugged. But anyway, if you accidentally do spray it in, get some in your eye, you blink it out and where's my stuff? You can blink it out and it goes away. It's not anything. It's just like getting eyeshadow in your eye. Where am I missing I don't know where my little sponge is. All right, let's do this. I'm just going to pat that out a little bit. All right. So now I will go in and I'm going to do Apricot Blush. So yes, I do the blush first because I like a softer blush, and I find that doing the blush first helps me achieve that. So I can turn this on, making sure my blush is next, and knowing my finger's off the trigger. Oh, yours was $3.50? Denise, that's awesome. Do you like my sushi reference? She's like, that is so true. Yeah, you have to be like, oh my gosh, your brows are awesome. And they have to say, oh, I got it microbladed. Then you're like, okay, who, where, when, where, yeah. All right, so because I can feel that air, I'm making my movements before pulling back on my trigger. You can start to see it. Is this where I want it? No, but I'm gonna go right over here. Oh, Patty, your daughter's doing microblading and it's $4.50? I know. I mean, $4.50 when I have a 5-year-old, that's kind of hard to justify. All right, so back and forth, back and forth. And then this is plenty. I'm not going to add any more blush right now because it is going to bloom. Our blush does bloom. It blooms. So with the blush, you want to get it to like, ooh, right till you almost love it, and then stop because it will get to that point. Now I'm going to take my foundation and I'm shaking it up. So let's talk coverage. If you have sunspots, if you have broken capillaries, if you have anything like that, with coverage, you can do what I like to call pre-coverage. The first pass that you make with anything should not give you full coverage. If it does, then you're spraying it too hard. With the CC concealer that I use, that's the ultimate in coverage. We have eraser, we have X out, we have color correctors, we have CC concealers, we have traditional concealers. That's the order. And if you go on Facebook, we have videos to show, I'm sorry, on YouTube, we have videos to show you all of that, where we explain that. Now, when I get to my foundation, now that I'm doing foundation, I've done my CC concealer here. I've done blush. Even the blush is giving me some coverage. Now, I still have some broken capillaries here, and I need to make more passes on my nose. So because airbrush is made by passes, I'm going to make more passes here than I would here because I don't have that much to cover up there. Thank goodness. So I'll put my drops in, turn on my system. There's air blowing. And now starting in one area, I'm making my pass. I start the movement first. And the other thing is, you guys see me that I keep going. You can stop. So you can do your forehead and stop. Go down your nose. Stop. Now I have this part. Making sure to go down the jawline so you don't have any demarcation lines, and stop. Now I can look back in the mirror. Okay, where else do I need this coverage? And then I can go back and get coverage where I need it only. But look how blended the blush is now, right? So that it's going to soften that look, soften the blush to blend it a little bit more. Now I'm going to apply Love. And this is a hydrating illuminator. It gives you a little bit of luminosity. I think of it more as like that young, youthful glow. It will grab light for you. It is going to grab a little bit of light. That's why I say it's not going to give you like a shimmer like our luminizers or the highlighters, but it's just a little bit of luminosity. Karen said, I think the hardest thing for me to learn was not to use too much. I'm older and using too much made more wrinkles prominent. Now, yes, girl, yes, that is so true because, and Karen, you're spot on. That's what you've been doing up until this point. We think that, oh, we're older, I have more to cover, let's pile it on. But think about this. When we're younger, we pile on the makeup to look older. We want to look more mature. We want to look above our age. When we're older, we need to use less makeup to let our youth shine through. And that's why airbrush is so amazing for all ages. But I think it's amazing for more mature women like me, because it's not going to settle in wrinkles and crinkles. You're using 10 times less makeup. It works with your skin, so you don't have those issues of, I mean, because it's a different way of thinking. We're working on learning the airbrush way, not the traditional way. And the traditional way is to slap more on, and that's not what you're going to do with airbrush. Let's go to, I of course want to use, what do I want to use? What do I want to use? I still want to use my Nude and Naughty, or Nude palette again. But I really like this color. I'm going to use the Chromatics, or I'm sorry, Optics, right here. And this is Flash, which, looking at this color, I would always say like, I wouldn't use this one, but it's, I love this color. And I still think it would be great for fall because it's deep enough. Is that not beautiful? And I honestly, I wouldn't even think it's a color that I could use. But I love it. I love it. And then now I'm going to go back to the Nude palette and use that sand color that I'm obsessed with right now. And put a little there. And I'm just going to blend and blend. Patty, that was Flash. This yellow one. And the Optics. And then now I'm using I'm mixing the sand and the gray together. And, you know, a lot of times you see me do the outside crease first, but I want to soften the that yellow a little bit, that Flash a little bit. And if I soften it too much, it's okay, because I can always go back and add a little bit more. So I'm blending this. Feel like I got that one too much. So we'll go back here. And then I'm going to go back with this one just to soften that. You can also take, like, if you get something too strong, you can also take a powder brush. Let me find mine and I'll show you. There's my powder brush, put it powder and just kind of dust it through. That will also help kind of soften it a little bit. I'm loving this. I love that color. And then now taking a flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going to do the liner, and I'll do it in kind of a gray, mixing that gray again. Underneath and that's just eyeshadow. So in this one, I use the Optics and the Nude palette. And staying with my my Ultra, or Lash Lure, I'm sorry. I'm going to use the Natural Lash. So taking the eyeliner, the 2-in-1 Smart Adhesive, looking down into my mirror, have my eyeliner. Making the line right at said lash line. Taking the lash off. This is natural lash, the natural lashes. And I'm getting closer so y'all can see. And it goes right there. I mean, it just pops. Pops right on. It's really cool, the fact that it does go straight to that line. I put this one too close. There we go. It like whoop right there. Doesn't make that sound, but I'll make it for you and you can record it. All right. Making sure I'm just pushing them down to make sure they're sticking. But notice there was no dry time. I didn't have to wait for the glue to dry. This 2-in-1 Smart Adhesive is glue, but it's also the it has the magnetic properties in there that's going to attract the magnets on the lash. Can you see me? So going in. Doing that lash, or doing the line. Have a little bit on that lash. Grabbing the lash. Woo! Put it in my little holder. And then I can go in. And do it that way. And I'm just going in, making sure, because I can see some space right there. So I'm just going in and making sure that it's all down. So again, I can take the lash and press it into the liner right where. And so with the Lash Lure, being that it has the 2-in-1 Smart Adhesive, you're putting the liner on. It gives you a place to shoot for. It's telling you where to go. And then with that, it grabs it. So it like pulls it to it. So it honestly, it does. Denise said, you make it look so easy. It honestly is that easy. I find, and I'm hot in this room right now, I find that it's a lot easier than regular lashes. I teach people all the time how to put on regular lashes, and it's a little bit more, it can get very easy, but you have to practice a little bit more. These honestly make it a lot easier because with the 2-in-1 Smart Adhesive, you have the glue, it's magnetized. When you go to put the lash on, bam, like seriously, bam. All right, there we go. And I know that a lot of people who let's see. Kaden says, I always struggle with lashes. So have you tried these, Kaden? Because I would venture to say that these will help you. They really will. And they come in, you can do them like this, where, and I've used all of them this week, where it has the Glam, Natural, Diva, but you can also buy them separately as well. They're even easier, and I've been telling the story for 2 weeks, but my niece got married. Of course I was going to cry because I was so happy for her. And then nobody saw her dress. So the first time we were seeing her dress was when she walked down the aisle. So it was really cool. And I knew I was going to cry. Well, guess what? I had this in my purse because I'm like, okay, if a lash falls off, because usually when lashes get wet, they'll fall off. And number one, it didn't, because we have the double hold. You have the hold from the glue, and then you have hold from the magnet. But if it did, all I had to do was go to the bathroom, pull them off, reline, put it back on, and then I'm golden. All right. This is Dusty Rose. And this is one of my staples, I have to say. To me, this is a must-have. Because I use this one, even if I'm doing a red, I'll line it with this, but I use it just as lips, period, because it has that staying power. It's going to stay. Kaden, I will put the link in all of what we talked about afterwards on YouTube. So, but you can always go to luminouseCosmetics.com and check them out. It's Lash Lure. But you can see all the different ways you can order them too. So, all right, guys, there we go. All of that, eyebrows and lashes. Oh my. So there you go. Guys, y'all are so awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I love having you guys here. We are here every day at 9:30. Do you overline the upper? I do. Well, I feel like I have. Denise, I like my lips to look fuller. With my lips are up there, but I don't have a lot of pigment there. So I don't draw above my lip, or there's no space from my line to where my lip starts. I just draw on the top part of my lip. And then to make them look fuller, I don't do the Cupid's bow as strongly as I used to. So I still line on my lips. It's just the upper part. All right. There you go. Guys, awesome. Awesome questions. Awesome talk. Love it. Let's do it tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:30. 9:30, we are here for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.